How we doing? How we doing? This is Destination Denver, Colorado, and today I'm here to give you the 10 things you need to know before moving to Denver, Colorado. No lies told, starting right now. All right, this is Destination Denver, Colorado. I am your host, Jimmy Everett. And listen, if you're interested in learning all the ins and outs, pros and cons to moving to or living around Denver, Colorado, then this is the channel for you. So make sure to click that subscribe button and notification icon as I'm dropping new videos for you each and every week. And listen, as much as I love trying to be a little creative here on camera, I'm also a licensed mortgage broker covering the entire state of Colorado and team with some of Denver's most talented realtors. So that number and email popping up on your screen, no, I'm always the person answering your phone calls, answering your texts, answering your emails, there when and if you need me. Now that we're done with that fun-filled stuff, let's get to what we're here for, and that is the 10 things you need to know before moving to Denver, Colorado with not one single lie told. All right, so as someone who was born and raised in Denver, moved away, came back, and has flown into Denver International Airport more times than I can count, I've seen the disappointment on people's faces if they haven't been to Denver yet, and they land into that airport and they realize, point number one, that Denver is close to the mountains. It is not a mountain town. As you land at DIA, in fact, as you go to Denver and move east, Eastern Colorado is as flat as it gets. It is Kansas. There's no difference. It's not until you get about 20 minutes west of Denver that you hit the mountains. So I see a lot of people have this image in their mind that they're gonna pull into Denver and it's like the old west. Billy the Kid's gonna come out, you're gonna have your pickaxe and you're gonna go looking for gold right away. It's not. Denver is not a mountain town. It is a flat, plain, high desert city with the mountains about 20 minutes away. So you can enjoy them, but don't think that you're high in the mountains shoveling 50 piles of snow, 50 feet of snow every day. Not the case. Just don't be bummed when you land at DIA, especially if the windows are angled at a way or you just can't see the mountains yet. It cracks me up. People freak out. That John Denver's full of shit, man. If you know, you know. Point number two, we're not lying that there's a lot to do. Denver has a very solid nightlife, good restaurants, good bars. It has a great art scene, museums, a museum of art and science. It's got zoos, it's got aquariums, it's got botanical gardens. It's got parks all over the place. Nightclubs if you're into that stuff, solid as can be. Obviously you have your mountains, so if you're into hiking, biking, camping, skiing, snowboarding, sledding, falling down mountains, you have that as well. Plenty to do in and around Denver, keeping people occupied, keeping people on the move. You get it. And as I am just now learning to golf very badly, we also have a ton of golf courses. So if you're into that, as much as we like getting outdoors and as sunny as it is, you can do a lot of golfing. We have, as Hefe would say, a plethora of golf courses here and around Denver. Tiger Woods, y'all. Number three, we aren't kidding about how dry it is here and the altitude. So when people first get here, they'll see your lips get chapped. We'll see your hands start to dry in the wintertime. You'll see people get affected by the altitude. I'll take people on a hike, even in the foothills. So we're not deep into the mountains, but we're at about, 7,000, 8,000 feet. They start that hike. It starts affecting them. They wear out quickly. Take a friend that flies into town. You don't even have to go up to the mountains. We go to a bar, we have a couple beers. The effect that alcohol will have on them at this altitude, at 5,280 feet, will cause an impact. It goes away pretty quickly. You'll get used to it relatively quickly. But your first week or two in this city, and the first time that you really start to try to exert yourself, especially, it will hit you. So we're not kidding. Altitude will impact you in the short term. Number four, we're not kidding about the weather being great, and we're not kidding about it being unpredictable. So you'll hear how much sunshine we get. They say 300 days, it's actually closer to 240 that you get like perfect sunshine, but it is gorgeous here. But it is, as we mentioned, unpredictable. We will have no snow. This year it literally did not snow. Well, I guess I should say last year, my bad. In 2021, going into the wintertime, we didn't have snow until Christmas Eve. That is how long. We didn't have snow through November. We didn't have snow through All of December, right until Christmas Eve, is when we got our first snow. At the same time, we'll get dumped on randomly in late May. Is that normal? No. But Denver's weather is highly unpredictable. You'll get random rain, you'll get these very random snowstorms. And my favorite thing when we're talking about not lying is the weather people, I'm not gonna say they lie, I'm just gonna say they guess badly. If you move out here, just know this. If a weather person tells you it's going to be a blizzard, we're gonna get 3 inches. And if they say, oh, don't worry, we're gonna get a dusting, prepare to get bombarded with snow on a biblical level. It's outrageous. Weather people, all this technology, they still can't tell you when it's gonna rain. Number 5, I'm not lying to you when I tell you that affordability and cost of living, cost of housing here in Denver is rapidly on the rise, and that things have become tighter for a lot of folks. So you will hear people that live in Denver, especially ones that have grown up here, talk about what the city used to be like and how affordable it used to be, and they're not lying. Now, we've seen affordability become an issue across the country, so Denver is not alone in that. But we do have a housing shortage, whether you are buying or renting. There are not a lot of houses compared to the people that want to be in them. That's always has been an issue for some time. Your cost of living, your cost of groceries, your cost of gas. Again, nationwide, yes, but Denver and Colorado as a whole has been near the top of those rankings when you talk about the increase in cost. We need to be aware of that, and we're not lying about it. Now, helping to counter that, hopefully, is number 6, and that is we're not lying about the job market and how solid it has been and booming for some period of time. In Denver, I've talked about this in other videos. Denver used to be, if you wanted a high-paying job, chances are you were going to be in oil and gas, maybe in education, something like that. Now, we have a very diverse economic foundation. We have tech jobs, finance jobs, education, medical. We still have oil and gas. We have aerospace. You have a lot of different fields. I don't know if I mentioned education. If I did, I apologize. I'll say it again. We have a lot of different fields that maintain our economy here. Tech. I'm just like throwing out words that I might have already repeated. I apologize. But just know that the nice thing about Denver's economy is that we're not based on 1 or 2 or even 3 industries, that if those industries struggle, all of a sudden Denver is in trouble. We're not in that situation. Back in 2012, 2013, going into 2014, this was a big oil and gas town. I worked in the bars and restaurant industries at that time, and I'll tell you, as oil started to go down, so did a lot of the businesses downtown. You don't see that in the same way now. We have a lot of stability and a lot of high-paying jobs, a lot of good opportunities out there. I would also say Denver is a very popular job sector for gig economy jobs, whether you're Ubering, delivering food, Instacart, what have you. A lot of people working gig jobs, different, that way they can kind of bounce around. They can work as they want or as much as they work. They can work a lot of different positions. I hear that a lot from clients, friends, colleagues. Even on the side, that side hustle, the gig economy is a very big thing here in Denver. You have plenty of people, such as myself, who will pay for convenience all day when we can. Number 7, we're not joking about traffic being a little annoying here and snow bringing out the worst of drivers. So traffic in Denver, key thing, it slows down. It very rarely stops. Very rarely. It has to be a pretty good wreck for you to see traffic just stopped in Denver. It's usually like a gradual crawl. One frustration that you'll have in Denver is there's not a lot that they can do with these highways. These cities, they were built to certain dimensions. Our north-south highway, I-25, cuts right, not directly through the city, but just on its edge. So it's not like they can really stretch or widen that highway at all. So traffic is a little slower. Snow tends to bring out the worst of drivers for several reasons. One, you have people who think that they can still drive as fast as they want because they don't believe in ice or sliding. You have people who believe that they need to do 10 miles an hour because it's the exact opposite. And if they go 15 miles an hour, they might, wreck into a bus full of nuns. So you have people who drive vehicles, and I love you, I genuinely do, but they drive vehicles that have no business being on the road in the snow, and especially no business being on the road when there are hills involved. You can drive a lot of vehicles in the snow on flat ground. But there are certain vehicles, the second that ground even goes a little up or downhill, where you're shot. And that's where that brings out the worst. See, I just lost my energy talking about it. Snow brings out the worst. Number 8, we are not fooling around. Yes, there are a lot of breweries and there are a lot of marijuana dispensaries here. What does that mean to you? Well, I'm going to start with marijuana. If you like marijuana, if you like smoking edibles, whatever, cool, you're gonna have a ball. There's a lot of great places, and it's, I admit I'm not big into it, but it's kind of cool to go into them and listen to the bud tenders tell you more about marijuana than I could possibly tell you about, I think, any subject known to man, other than when I was like 12 years old, I could talk to you about football a lot. But I mean, these bud tenders. When it comes to breweries, I mean, now if I should say, if you're not big into marijuana, I don't think it's not going to affect you. You're just going to kind of chuckle at how many times you drive by a dispensary and you see a long line out front of it. That does blow my mind. Breweries, I mean, you gotta love breweries because breweries have great beer. They have usually a food truck outside to provide some food, and that food truck is usually delicious. And breweries are one of the best places for dog-friendly environments, so you can tend to bring your pooch. So you got a lot of dispensaries, you got a lot of breweries. We're not lying about it. Now, I can't say that Denver has or Colorado has the most dispensaries per capita. That could be the case. I can't back that fact up, so we're not saying that. But we do have the most breweries, just per capita. Just a little fun fact. Number 9, we're not kidding that neighborhoods have different vibes, that Denver can be very segmented. What I mean by that is you could live in this neighborhood and there's a lot to do, and there's parks and there's restaurants and there's bars, and then you can live, across this road and it's mainly just neighborhoods and it's a little quieter. Maybe you get, 10 minutes outside of town and you're suburbs. Get just 5 minutes closer and you feel like you're just in, the thick of things downtown. So these neighborhoods have a lot of different vibes, a lot of different energies to them. So as you're exploring them, just know that every neighborhood, even these, little 6x6 block regions, are gonna have different drawbacks and they're gonna have different benefits to you. Number 10, we are not lying. We love dogs. We adore dogs. I have 2 dogs. When I'm around dogs, they're around me. We have dog parks everywhere. We have places that allow dogs. If the place doesn't allow dogs, they better have a good reason for it. Like, I don't know, it's a hospital. We adore them. They're everywhere. So if you like dogs, bring your dogs here or come here and help rescue dogs, whatever we can do. 4-legged friends, they're the best. You know it, I know it. Let's go to a brewery and enjoy a beer while we have our dogs with us. Not even an exaggeration. And I'm gonna give you a little bonus. Number 11, we're not kidding. You have to become a Denver Broncos fan. Okay, I'm just kidding. You really don't. We love our sports teams. We could use a little improvement in knowledge sometimes about our sports teams, but that's all right. I'm guilty too. But we're pretty cool about your team and whatever, even if you're a rival, even if you're a Raiders fan or you're a Dodgers fan in baseball, or whatever. Just don't be a Nebraska fan, okay? My brother-in-law's a Nebraska fan. I can only deal with one of you at a time. It's just difficult. But hey, that was 11 things that you need to know before moving to Denver, Colorado. And as far as I could tell, there wasn't one lie told. But if you think you caught one, that's a great time to call me out on it with a call, a text, an email. That number and email popping up on your screen. Know that I am always the person. Answer your phone calls, answer your texts, answer your emails. There when and if you need me. This has been 10 things you need to know before moving to Denver, Colorado. No lies told. This is Destination Denver, Colorado. I am your host, Jimmy Everett. Until I see you next time, peace.